Welcome back to the Drinks Coach UK on YouTube. All lowercase Vinesack, all lowercase Drinks Coach UK. Click on subscribe, hit the bell if you want any updates and notifications. In our stride, tinkering along towards spring. Today, bit of a consumer show, actually. The wine buyers and the development team, the product development team at Marks and Spencer's, have been a jolly busy bunch during lockdown, which is kind of amazing, really, that they've come up with some of the wines that I'm about to show you entirely remotely, without the ability to travel, researching things online, looking into things, getting samples sent in, having wines sent to and fro until they were happy with them. This isn't how business is conducted. One of the reasons why we're in the wine business is because we get a chance to travel. It's one of the few great perks of the job. Well, they brought out a new range. And this range of wines is called Found. I got sent a passport in the post. Okay, there we go. The Found passport, which I think is a really sweet little thing to do. Especially now we all feel so lost with the passport we've got. Enough of that. Okay, so, yeah. Without further ado, I'm now going to go through this and I'm going to tell you about each wine in the passport. And do you know why? It's all killer, no filler. There isn't a bad wine in here. This is a new range of wines, and the most exciting thing I'll explain to you in a minute. But basically the idea behind it was, while, I don't know, most people were probably just kind of backpedaling and goalkeeping, Marks and Spencer's and the buying team decided they would look for the exciting things, the great varieties which have captured the zeitgeist, maybe during the lockdown period or before, or now because wines aren't being sold to restaurants, people have been forced to try and sell them direct to consumer. So we're being presented with wines that erstwhile we would only ever find through a sommelier in a restaurant, which is exciting times. I know it's terrible what we've been through, and it's terrible the loss that a lot of people have had to endure. But out of a bushfire comes a lot of new growth, and the silver lining of any recession, in my experience, when it comes to wine, is wine becomes more exciting, and people appreciate it a bit more, and they're more prepared to experiment and all those things. And Marks and Spencer's, hello to all of you. Sue, thanks, Hazel, Belinda, all of you out there. This is a kind of a response to that. This is matching people's expectations now we've heard about new wines we wouldn't otherwise normally buy. So I'm going to go through these very, very quickly, and I'm going to taste these wines because these are my favourite pick of 6 out of the range of, I think it's 11, that'll be 12. I've got 11 here, but I tasted the others. No, I didn't taste the others, I drank the others. Okay, so, first one here. Blanquette de Limoux. You must have heard me talking about sparkling wines and Cremants from all over France. But this wine is basically a Blanquette de Limoux. It's called Blanquette because Blanquette is the local name for a grape variety called Mauzac, M-A-U-Z-A-C, which makes really decent sparkling wine. Not the finest champagne on earth kind of wines, but really good sparkling wines. Oh yeah, better than the worst champagnes, definitely. But the leaves have a slightly hairy underside, which makes them look like they're white. The one side is white and one side is green. So the variety is called Blanquette locally in the area of Limoux. And so Blanquette de Limoux is named after the premium variety. There's a soupçon of this and a soupçon of that. There's a bit of Chenin Blanc, a bit of Chardonnay in there. But that was a tenner. And it's proper, grown-up, dry, sparkling wine. Go and try it. I think the label looks the business. Oh, what do you want? Blood? There you go. Found. Blanquette de Limoux, £10. Job done. Okay. First one. £10. Okay. Which is what I'm bringing you on to. None of these are over a tenner. And these are wines which represent grape varieties which normally you go into a restaurant and spend £30 or £40 on. It's really exciting. So, okay. This is the first one we're going to taste now. This is called Ribolla Gialla. Now, they were quite nervous about this one, because they thought people wouldn't be able to get into the name of the variety. It's always weird when a variety has 2 words. Call it Ribolla. But Ribolla Gialla, I mean, if you like trying to pretend you're Italian, ciao, Ribolla Gialla. It's a name I like saying. You know, even if the wine was a bit shit, I would, hey, ciao, Ribolla Gialla. I drive the Cinquecento on the Cava. Right, so there we go. Ribolla Gialla. It's a great variety from the northeast of Italy. And it's a fabulous variety. There's this genius winemaker who, the wine's marginally overpriced would be one way of saying it, but then again, pay peanuts, get monkeys, don't you? Silvio German. Silvio German makes these incredible wines. Capomartino, Vintage Tannina. His premium wine is a Chardonnay, which is a match for almost all of the great white Burgundies, and it's called Where the Dreams Have No End. What? Yes, I said that right. Where the Dreams Have No End. And he named it after his favourite song by U2, Where the Streets Have No Name. And if you've ever been to Italy and you turn the television on, if U2 isn't on, Coldplay's on. Those are the two favourite bands of the whole of Italy, frankly. Okay, so what does Ribolla Gialla do? How does it work? It's got lots of flavour, but it's not aromatic. So it's got this... threw it straight up my nose. It's got a presence. It's. I talk about shape sometimes, don't I? I talk about the texture of wine, and I always say people don't spend enough time thinking about not what it smells and tastes like, but what it feels like in the mouth. This is your original licking a piece of Carrara marble, Carrara marble, maybe. You don't want to be licking mafia people. That's not good. Okay. It's so delicious, man. Anyway, going back to the Silvio German story, his entry-level white wine is called Vinai. Vines. Wine. 100% Ribolla Gialla. And I've always been transfixed by it. It's absolutely fantastic. The only problem is that I have to pay £25 for a bottle of it, which is saddening, but absolutely worth the money once in a while. How much do you charge, Marks and Spencer's? £7. This is a £7 unoaked dry white made from one of the most curious and most loved food white varieties in the whole of Italy. Out of the hundreds and hundreds of great varieties in Italy, this is one that people love and Silvio German made famous. For them to come along, Marks and Spencer's that is, and to put into a bottle a wine of that quality, of that dryness and that salivating tang and intensity, remotely is a job not just well done, it's amazing, right? When I was a wine buyer in various supermarkets, most notably Sainsbury's and Waitrose, I rarely found a wine this good. And I was there. I was looking, physically there. And they've managed to find this wine remotely. I think it's wonderful. Well done, Sue Daniels and the team. Next one. I don't want this to last forever, but there are 11 wines to go through. Okay, the next one is the other really, really sexy white wine we've got here. This is from the Semele estate, which is one of the best and well-known producers on mainland Greece for wine. And this is a wine which is made from two great varieties. One which is a very pale, I believe probably a descendant, having tried it many times on its own, probably a descendant of Muscat. It's very grapey and perfumed. It's a very, very pale pink variety called Moscofilero. So you've got Moscofilero and a variety which is pithy, like lemon pith, called Rhoditis. So if you've got the grapiness of Moscofilero and you've got the pithiness of Rhoditis, and you've got a plate in which is feta cheese, cucumber, dried thyme, tomatoes, lemon dressing, this is, oh my God, the best thing in the world with Greek salad. I can't tell you. And when you taste this wine, I've tried a lot of Moscofilero Rhoditis blends. Strangely, they're often put together. I think because they work that tension of yin and yang between the two. A low acid perfume variety, high acid pithy variety, kind of like fills the holes with each other. It's kind of like the ebony and ivory of wines. Man, it smells like lemon curd. It's got this wonderful fresh lemon oil. The thing about Greek food, okay, and I'm even preaching to the people that just go to places like, I don't know, not necessarily Malia and Crete, but close. It's just so fresh. I'm assuming you're not going to the English restaurants where they microwave your steak. I'm just saying, fresh fish off the beach, fresh beans in your whatever Militz's Clef de Co, whatever, I don't know. But it's all fresh lemon, fresh thyme, fresh herbs, fresh out the sea, fresh this, fresh that. And it's the freshness that makes the food in Greece so beguiling when you're there. And I'm now feeling quite upset I'm not in Greece. And all I've done is pour myself a small glass of wine. Well done, Semeli. Well done, Sue again, and the team. £8.50. £8.50. How much is it? £8.50. I'm not used to talking about wines under a tenner anymore. I thought that happened after Brexit, but these wines are absolutely fantastic. Okay, so that's wine's delicious. That wine's delicious. Where are we going next? Gros Montseng. Okay, this is made by the Dufour family, I think. Gros Montseng is a variety from Gascony, where we get our foie gras from, where a lot of sweet wine comes from. It's a beautiful place for food. Food tends to be quite rich. You might have come across a wine called Jurançon. Jurançon is a wine that my wife particularly loves, and it's made largely from this variety. Gros Montseng. There is a Petit Montseng, gros meaning big, Montseng, and there's a Petit Montseng, which means little Montseng, which is more intense, much higher in acid, incredibly perfumed, makes incredible dessert wines. The best sweet wines from Jurançon or Pacheronque de Vicqueville, which is another very famous dessert wine from the region. Very much in the mould of Sauternes, which is only a skip and a jump further north in Bordeaux. This is basically Côte de Gascogne, but we've taken out all the rubbish. We've taken out the mosaic, we've taken out this, we've taken that. We've taken out the colombard, and we're left with the good stuff. So this is a Côte de Gascogne Gros Montseng, and the wine has the most fabulous smell of fuzzy apricots and pear fool, and you know when you make a fruit salad and you've got leftover bits and some are a bit old, like a couple of black bananas but they're still okay inside, and then to that soft fluffy banana-y creaminess, and then you've got some passion fruit and maybe some mangoes, maybe some kiwi fruit that's been hanging around for a while, and you get this wonderful tension in the drink. This wine is like drinking fruit salad, but is remarkably dry at the same time. So, what does the passport say? £9. Okay, so this is the surprise. At £7, that's preposterous. At £7, frankly. If somebody told me this was £11, I wouldn't have batted an eyelid. £4 of profit they've just walked away from. Okay, Gros Montseng, £9. Absolutely delicious, just the flavours in there. And it's a classic French wine. When you drink it, and you love things like white wine from Bordeaux, and you can still get very nice white wine in Bordeaux for that money. But try something new, absolutely delicious. Mosca Filero Roditis. What a wonderful introduction to any white wines from Greece. I think some of you out there who may be inspired to buy this, it'll be your first Greek white, and I think after drinking that it may not be the last. Amazing wine for £8.50. There's another white wine, I can't find the bottle. Oh yeah, there are 12 in the range, which is from Romania. It's a grape variety called Royal Maiden Feteasca Regala. Can you see that? It's £7. I've been drinking one from Asda that was like £5.25, but it's gone now. It's delicious. It's, again, full of beautiful, fresh fruits. For £7, it's laughable. But I had the wine open for 3 days, and it still tasted delicious. Most white wine falls apart after that. So I strongly recommend that. We have a Grenache Blanc from South Africa. I'll give South Africa too much exposure, really. But there we go. Grenache Blanc. Okay. This is Grenache Blanc from, I think, is it Worcester? I can't remember again. It's from the Perneberg winery, yeah. And it's sort of inland. And Grenache Blanc is Garnacha Blanca, white Grenache, whatever you want to call it, is a very, very popular grape variety in the southern Rhone. And for a wine that costs £8, £8, it's amazingly good value. This is the same kind of wine. This is a New World Côte de Rhône Blanc. Okay, and I know I've done Côte de Rhône Blanc on this show before. Cellier de Dauphin, Côte de Rhône Blanc, one of my favourite big French wine brands. Utterly delicious. This is a South African version. Is it better? Is it worse? They're both around £8 and they're both delicious. What can I say? Okay, so moving on. What are we doing for time? 14. Oh yes. My wife tucked into this so fast. I went, I've got to use this on a show. It's done left. Okay, so this is Vinha Verde. Vinha Verde, I've done shows on Vinha Verde. When we go back, just put in Vinha Verde, The Drinks Coach UK. I think at least one show turns up. The wines are fantastic though. These are the wines of the northern Portugal, and they make beautiful wines. Traditionally, back in the day, in order to try and sell them, they put a little bit of red wine in it to make it a bit pink. Very famous brand in a funny shaped bottle with a castle on the front. Mateus. Yep. They've reinvented Mateus Rosé for the modern times. This is 11% alcohol, which is not high. It has a lovely natural spritz. The whole point about Vinha Verde, which means green wine, is it's bottled before the carbon dioxide has had a chance to disappear out of the bottle. So there's this little sparge, tingle, if you will, of carbon dioxide in the wine, which makes it taste more refreshing. And this one has been made largely, believe it or not, from Touriga Nacional, which is the biggest, butchest, most testosterone grape variety in the whole of Portugal. But it makes these beautiful, lovely, fresh rosés. And there's a bit of white in there as well. What can I say? Full of strawberries. The spritz and the sharpness really, really brings the wine alive. And I can't think of a better wine with a pile of garlicky clams on the coast in Portugal. But, yeah, if you want to know what Mateus should have tasted like, Mateus Rosé, come on, bring it back. Go to Marks and Spencer's, Vinha Verde. And I think it's some laughable price. Yeah, £7. It's £7. Can you buy anything? I don't think you can get into a toilet for £7 anymore, can you? Not sure. Okay, right, so. Getting excited now. Because a couple of these reds I haven't tried yet. So I kept them for the wow factor of the show. Okay, we're going to go Mathuelo. Mathuelo is a grape variety which almost all of the really, really interesting Riojas that you often see, you know, I get sent Rioja from time to time, and Rioja is still probably pound for pound, if you're looking at wines which are at least as good as the great wines of Bordeaux, but for some reason they're just not as expensive. They're mostly made from Tempranillo. There's sometimes some Grenache in there, some Garnacha, especially the cheap ones, but there's a couple of other grape varieties kicking around, Mathuelo and Graciano. And Mathuelo is the same grape variety as they call Carignan in France, or Carignane, or Carignane in Italy. But it's a variety that floats around the Mediterranean basin, but is grown in very small quantities in Rioja, and is slowly kind of dying out, which I really find hard to believe, because Tempranillo, like Merlot in Pomerol, it's very rare you can find a site that's so beautiful that you can make 100% Merlot that tastes nice. It's lift music most of the time, Merlot. It's tofu. Right? What makes it special is the 5% of something else, which just gives this wonderful ephemeral identity that's beautiful. And 100% Tempranillo Riojas can be delicious, but the ones that I like, when I look on the back of the shelf, says 10% Graciano, 10% Mathuelo, 90% Tempranillo. And those are the ones which I love, the ones that have just been tickled up a little bit by this magical variety that deserves to stay. Now, a dear friend of mine, Victoria Moore, from the Daily Telegraph, wine writer, we both share a fondness for Carignan, French Carignan, and this is the same variety. It's blood purple. It's got this wonderful inky purple colour to it. And the one thing that we both discovered is that we find that, to our palates anyway, whenever there's any Carignan or any Mathuelo in a blend, it smells of black figs. Now, you either like black figs or you don't like black figs. If you don't like black figs, jog on. Watch the next clip. But I love black figs. Just slicing ripe black figs onto a sourdough toast with some salami and maybe some mushrooms underneath, drizzle of oil, bit of salt. Oh yeah, baby! Okay, wine smells so pretty. It's just, I can almost feel fruit tumbling down my nose. It's got gobs full of fruit. What fruit? Juicy, almost overripe plums. Cherry jam. And black figs. What a delicious bottle of wine. If you like Rioja and you want to try a Rioja, but not as we know it, Jim, reach out for Found Marks and Spencer's Mathuelo 2019 Rioja. £8.50. Yeah, £8.50. The amount of fun. If you bought every one in this range, it's like you could buy all 12, and I bet it works out at exactly £100. They've probably done that as a joke or something. But if you wanted to buy 12 bottles of wine in a case that would last a whole month of enjoyment of trying wines with your friends and tasting it. Hold a month, who am I kidding, right? Okay, so moving on to the next red, which I haven't tasted yet. This is from Catena. Catena is the great founding father wine company of Argentina. This is from the Uco Valley, which is a warm part of Mendoza. We have a crack at this. Well, all right, so if we try this, look at the colour on that wine. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's almost got a blue purple to it. The oak is not over the top. It doesn't smell... A lot of Argentinian wines just smell of kind of like vanilla. This wine has a kiss of cinnamon over my favourite grape variety, which is Cab Franc. Cab Franc, remember, and I've said this many times on the shows, started off in France, long time ago, was brought by the Franks to France, hence the Cabernet Franc, and then it was the variety that then mutated into the whole Carmenet family. Cabernet Sauvignon, Sauvignon Blanc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Malbec, the list goes on, okay, Sauvignon Blanc, Sauvignon Gris. What is that? £10, and I want a steak now. Okay, absolutely fantastic wine. It's got the Catena polish, beautiful imprint of rich, luscious, creamy fruit. It's blueberries, blueberries up the wazoo all day long. Absolutely delicious wine. £10. Yes, please. Absolutely fantastic. I reckon that would taste even better if you stuck it in a jug for about 10 minutes first. Wow. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the passport now, I think. Where are we going from here? Had that. Nerello Cappuccio. This is an unusual variety from Sicily. I enjoyed this very much. It wasn't my top pick, but quite delicious. Nerello Mascalese is a great variety, well known across Chile. But Nerello Cappuccio is a red variety that has this wonderful herby, dried, like you know when you open a pot of dried Italian herbs and you smell it? It's like that, but underneath it's got this lovely sour cherry fruit. Very Italian. Would be wonderful with barbecued food, with white cooked meats like pork. Would be absolutely wonderful. £7. £7. Okay, now this is the one I've been waiting all week to try. When I saw that they were doing the found thing, I thought, okay, well, let's have a look at all the different grape varieties. Are they really that obscure? Are they really that brilliant? Have they really got the potential that they're claiming these wines might have? And at least half of them did. And I think that's pretty fair. Okay. The other half are just good wines and very good examples from unusual places. So just stick at it. If you see this type of label on the bottle, certainly in the condition they're in right now, go and flip and buy them. They're very good. Now, this is made by a guy called Apostolos Thimiopoulos. And if you've seen my Greek shows, you'll know that I fell in love with a grape variety called Xinomavro. The Wine Society sells Rapsani and also sells a Genvigna Xinomavro. Both wines have been on my show in the last 12 months. And this is a Marks and Spencer's own label, Xinomavro, made by Apostolos Thimiopoulos, with a bit of another really interesting variety in it, Mandalaria. It's under a tenner. It's £9.50. Oh, God, I can't wait to try this wine. So, if for those people who won't remember or haven't seen the show where I talked about Greek reds, Xinomavro is a grape variety which is very, very similar to Nebbiolo in Italy. And if you buy really good Xinomavro and you allow it to age for a couple of years, or if it's ready and it's very nicely managed, it's like Barolo. But decent, good, basic Barolo starts at £25 now. But you can buy Xinomavro for a tenner, and they're very, very similar grape varieties. I can smell the Mandalaria over the top, which is very tight, cedary, fresh cut sandalwood spice to it. Apostolos, man, you are maybe the hippest and coolest winemaking dude on the planet right now. Everyone in England is talking about you. Everyone around the world. I met a woman that owns a restaurant in Berlin. She's going, oh, the best wines in the world? Oh, Casino Mavro by Themiopoulos. Everyone, please go out and buy this. Please go out and buy this and prove that I'm right and prove that I've got some kind of influence over you guys. But this is a sub £10 delight from Greece. Thank you very much for those. That is fantastic. Only a couple more to go. The other one, which my wife loved, which I liked less so, is a variety from Chile, and it's called País. País is probably the oldest red variety in Chile. I'm not sure where it's from. Could it even be indigenous? I'm not sure how that works. But it's quite a sappy, fruity, cherryish variety. Certainly worth trying. Beautiful with the barbecue. Lovely with oily fish, actually. I like it with like barbecued snapper and things like that. £9. Okay, so to recap. Bloghead Limu, £10 for champagne quality fizz. And dry. Ribolla Jala, £7! £7! £8.50 for Moscofila Eruditis from Greece. See next to his brother there. We've got Grey Montseng, which is southwest France. Beautiful, fresh, fruity wines. Again, inexpensive, £9. Cabernet Franc from Argentina. Famous for Malbec and Cabernet, but Cabernet Franc less so. Please plant more Cabernet Franc in Argentina. It's like drinking blueberry jam on a big baguette slathered in Lurpak. Absolutely delicious. Okay, and then we've got Rioja Mathuelo for £9, and then there's a handful of other wines. So thank you very much. In less than half an hour, I have talked about the entire new range from Marks and Spencers. They did not pay me a penny for this, but I have got happily drunk in the process. So maybe there is some incentive. But I'm telling you, what's special about this is these people have been sitting in their offices up there in Paddington and had to do all this on the phone, and they've ended up with a range of 12 wines with no fakes at all. Very, very proud of what Marks and Spencer is doing right now. Well done. Keep up the good work. See you next time.